Man, local elections don't matter. I'm playing. Listen, people always ask me, what are the most important elections? And I always say local elections matter more than you think because they actually decide and influence the issues and concerns that are most important to you. Yeah, I know, we are and should be concerned about the issues affecting us nationally and globally. Issues like war in Gaza, Iran, the Ukraine, growing inflation, high prices, the rise of fascism at home, and anti-democratic and constitutional policies becoming more and more common. I get it, right? But issues such as crime and public safety and potholes, local taxes, tree planting, tree removal, road and street paving, access to quality small businesses, housing, schools, and family activities, etc., are all within the purview of local government. The city of Newark, for example, like all municipalities, has a hearing of citizens portion of their city council meetings where regular citizens get to engage with their local elected officials about proposed legislation and provide input on their take on the general state of affairs in the city. And I would say 98% of the complaints, the ideas, congratulations on occasion, and questions centered around local needs because the needs I listed above oftentimes are a matter of life and death. So why don't more residents vote in local elections? I mean, in Newark this past May, for example, only 12.5% of the city's registered voters bothered to participate in municipal elections, and a paltry 3 to 4% participated in the school board elections. There are three reasons why. Number one, most voters don't make the connection between local election participation and solving local problems and issues. Now, as the first elected official in New Jersey to endorse then Senator Barack Obama for president in 2007, I'm never going to let you all forget that. I also served as the Essex County coordinator for the New Jersey for Obama Fall Campaign 2008. Now, my polling site in West Ward District 32, shout out to District 32, was so packed with long lines during the day that I could not vote and tend to my duties countywide until literally 7:45 p.m., 15 minutes before the polls closed. And then we petitioned the election board to keep polls open to accommodate voters still online to vote post 8 p.m. Why? Because we all understood the assignment for Barack Obama. Not so much who will do a better job cleaning abandoned lots or better garbage pickups. Number two, voters respond to the quality of the candidates running. Now, that's not a diss to candidates that run, but it is a fact of political life. Listen, I told a former challenger to my re-election campaign effort in 2010 when they said that there were lots of voters who told them that they would not vote for me in the upcoming election. I had to break it to her that voters make two choices when they decide who to support in any election. Number one, do I want to support the incumbent? And number two, if the answer is no, do I want to vote for someone running against them? Now, too often challengers think that if someone does not like the incumbent, that means they will vote for them, when in actuality, it means that the voter will more than likely not vote at all. Candidates have two tasks. Pay attention, future candidates, because I'm talking to you. They must get the electorate to not want to support the incumbent and to vote for them and not stay at home. Number three, if voters don't feel that a challenger, even the ones that they like, have a snowball's chance in hell of winning, they do not participate. Hey, don't hate the player, hate the game. There is a strategy to win campaigns called shock and awe, meaning that well-financed campaigns with an army of volunteers can literally flood the zone of voters' attentions, and no one likes supporting a campaign that is gaining zero traction or looks like a Don Quixote effort. Look that reference up. So how do we get voters to care more about local elections? I think there's three ways. One is local elected officials have to educate the electorate they serve about the connections between their voting and the things that are actually getting done. Now, former Newark, New Jersey Mayor Sharpe James was a master at this. Two quick examples. One, at every groundbreaking, every new program announcement, every new federal or state grant, press conference or event, he would host it in the community, at a senior building, at a nonprofit location. He would say, promises made, promises kept. Another example will be during every statewide campaign for a U.S. Senator in New Jersey or governor. Mayor James would tell the audiences during campaign seasons, especially around the get out the vote effort time, that they needed to vote because his ability to negotiate and get things done for Newark depended on the city's turnout in elections. He always said our power to leverage what we needed from Trenton and DC depended on the size of our turnout, and that made city voters feel a part of the mission to actually make Newark better. Number two, local elected officials, as I mentioned in my content yesterday, need to conduct massive nonpartisan voter education efforts in off years when there is no election and they're not looking for a vote. Let me say that again. Local elected officials need to conduct massive nonpartisan voting education efforts in off years when there is no election and they're not looking for a vote. I'm not talking about the random NAACP, Urban League, people for people for the organization for POP, for instance, People's Organization for Progress. Thank you. Doing they do it all the time, right? Those two organizations are examples of that. I'm talking about elected officials and official nonpartisan voter education efforts that's timely and specific. Now, there's a gentleman in New Jersey named Harry Pizicki. He was the founder of the Citizens Army in the early 2000s, and he used to provide a curriculum and course known as Empowerment Civics, which taught regular folks about not only how local government works, but how to access government. And I'm happy to talk about the ways to do so, as I used to lead these trainings for residents all around the state of New Jersey. But those kind of things need to be done on a regular basis. Third and last, I'll say this. Massive voter registration, right? Cities like Newark, Camden, DC, Oakland, to name a few, have had a precipitous loss of registered voters over the last 10 to 20 years. They are literally hemorrhaging voters through death, folks moving out of the cities, even folks moving within cities, but not updating their voting status, right? Hell, some elected officials even like keeping voter rolls low because it helps with their re-election. I love former Newark Councilman George Branch, but he won elections in Newark by keeping the voter rolls overwhelmingly dominated by senior citizen voters that lived in public housing because there was a natural allegiance to him from that voting demographic because he was a senior. And as the incumbent back in the bad old days of rough and tumble Newark politics, he and the James administration would restrict access to those Newark Housing Authority buildings by challengers. Cory Booker beat George Branch in the Central Ward race in 1998 because he registered hundreds of new voters in the Central Ward outside of those protected buildings. Don't believe me? Watch Street Fight, because that's literally the opening scene, is Cory Booker being led out of a public housing building by somebody who worked for the Sharp J's administration. It's not enough to just point out voter shortcomings without providing a way forward to correct it. I hope this was helpful and specific. This is Rice and Reason. It's my daily dose of thoughts. I am a former elected official, law school graduate, husband, father, an advocate sharing political and practical insights on politics, culture, education, faith, and leadership. No outrage, no talking points, just perspective, experience, and common sense. Subscribe to the channel, like, and share the content. And remember to think. It ain't illegal yet. And I'm out.